Warning, this podcast contains themes of extreme violence and murder. Subject matter may be offensive to some listeners. Discretion advised.
Welcome to another episode of Evil Transgression, your homicide headquarters here in podcasting. I'm Josh, and with me as always, Dustin and Rex.
What's going on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, what's up?
I can tell you what's up. You already know where I'm going with this.
Really? Where?
I'm going to LA.
You're not going to LA.
Well, that's where I'm going with this story.
Oh, okay.
It's going to LA.
For the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. The Bengals. They're in the Super Bowl.
You excited?
I'm so excited.
This will be the first time I don't watch the Super Bowl.
No, you will watch it. You will. And you'll be rooting.
For the Rams.
I seen a funny video earlier in the week. This guy was like, talking crap about the Bengals. And he was like, oh, everybody give it up for the Kentucky Bengals. I'm like, it's not Kentucky.
It really is, though.
No, it's Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, it's right there.
It's pretty close.
It's like calling you guys the Canadian Browns.
No, there's a huge gap between us and Canada. Lake Erie is very large.
Whatever. And very cold.
Very cold. You learned that the hard way.
We did. We went up there a couple weeks ago, and it was cold.
Yeah, it's too far north for me, you know.
The whole week, all I heard Dustin say was, it's going to be like 35, 40 degrees up there. It's like, Dustin, it is on the lake.
Right.
So when we got there and he rolled his window down, when we got off the freeway, he rolled his window down and rolled it immediately back up and said, oh my God, it's cold.
It was cold. My knees got real cold.
Really?
Yeah.
Of all things.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Then I tried to walk with frozen knees, and that's impossible.
You look like Forrest Gump when he broke his braces off. Nice. You know who wasn't cold, though? The guy with the sweatpants and the shorts.
We did see that guy.
Guy had sweatpants on and some jorts over top of it.
He did.
Oh, you told me about that.
And then he had on dress shoes.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
Well, it was Sunday.
True.
He went to church for you. Showed up at the game. The early session. You guys watched anything good on Netflix lately? Because I have.
I have not.
Well, I started watching what's the new one with the guy that's got multiple personalities? It's like the many faces of, I can't even remember the guy's name. But
I'm not sure.
It starts in Columbus, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah. Ron O'Brien's on it.
Really?
Yeah. Like the 24 faces of Dennis Milligan or something.
Interesting.
But it's a guy that tried, it was like a benchmark case for multiple personalities and stuff. So,
I finally watched Mindhunter.
good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're season 3.
Dude, the whole show is supposed to be them going after the BTK killer.
Yep.
That's why they keep showing the clips of it.
Yeah.
So there's supposed to be a 3rd season. Now, whether they just canceled it and they're not going to show it, I don't know.
That sucks.
But speaking of that show, Mindhunters, we're going to be doing a story on one of the guys they interview in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Dustin said, hey, I know we don't do famous people, but I'm going to do a famous person. So against my better judgment, we're going to be doing a more famous guy today.
Ooh.
He said, ooh, like he's surprised.
I know, he's the one that wrote
Are we?
Oh, really? Who is it? Please tell me.
Goodness.
Can't wait for this.
But before we do that, we're probably just going to have to get some evil facts.
Oh, yeah.
Evil facts.
Dennis Rader, the BTK killer that we just spoke of, was a deacon and the president of the church council at the Lutheran church that he had attended for 30 years. He was also a Cub Scout leader.
Whoa.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So people took their young sons to his scout class or whatever they call them. Scout meetings. And the BTK killer was there like, this is how you tie a real good knot.
Doesn't deacons, aren't they the ones that walk around and collect the money
They can be.
for the church?
Those are ushers, but yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever.
But I mean, deacon is somebody that has clout in a church.
Yeah.
So the bind, torture, and killer was teaching people how to tie knots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I bet every one of those Cub Scouts were amazing knot tiers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like even to this day, they're like, I'll show you something that old Dennis Rader taught me. Bet you can't get out of this. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam killer. That's another crazy documentary I've been watching. I don't know if you've seen it on there. Netflix, The Sons of Sam.
No.
It's a guy that believes that there was more than one involved in that. Yeah.
Wasn't there a movie called The Summer of Sam?
With John Leguizamo. Yeah.
Was that about him?
No, it was going on in the background, but it was about the summer during that.
Oh, okay.
It's stupid. But anyways, David Berkowitz, son of Sam killer, has been eligible for parole since 2002. He's consistently either asked to not be released or just skipped his hearings altogether.
So he don't want out.
Well, when asked how he's changed in 2016, he said, I am no risk whatsoever. He's also been called a model prisoner by prison staff and has even graduated with honors from Sullivan Community College.
Yeah, let him out.
He he also counseled fellow prisoners and even changed his nickname to the Son of Hope.
Wow.
After converting to evangelical Christianity in 1987. Found the Lord.
I guess so.
So now shooting people in the face with 44 Magnum is null and void.
Interesting.
It is interesting that a man that is up for parole doesn't even go to his hearings. Maybe he knows like there's no chance.
All right, they're not going to let me out.
Who knows? You guys like The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Did you watch that show?
Never seen
Yes.
You've never seen it?
No.
Something about zombie movies and zombie shows.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. Back to Netflix. There's a new, have you seen I think it might be Korean. We're All Dead Here or something.
No, but I'll have to look it up.
It's like a Korean version of The Walking Dead. If you can get by with terrible dub,
Yeah.
that's what it is. But zombies are kind of like my thing. So Jeffrey Dahmer tried to make sex zombies out of some of his victims by drilling holes in their heads while they were alive and pouring acid into the holes.
I have heard about that one. Yeah.
Sex zombies.
While they were alive?
Yeah. Drilling holes in their head and pouring acid in it to try and turn them into zombies.
Yeah.
What
Crazy.
Damn.
I mean, we knew Jeffrey Dahmer was crazy, but that might just take it to a whole new level.
Right.
Like, who wants to have sex with a zombie anyways?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
So that is your fun, evil facts for the day.
Nice.
And now we're going to get into Dustin's famous guy. He's famous, but not. I would say he's not like
He's not like a Dahmer or nothing like that.
or a Bundy, or Gacy, or Eileen Wuornos, or,
Right.
But he's a more well-known guy. especially if you've seen Mindhunters.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Jerry Brudos.
Ooh.
So put on your finest pair of high heel shoes as we discuss Jerry Brudos. Jerry Brudos was born Jerome Henry Brudos, January 31st, 1939 in Webster, South Dakota. He was the youngest of 2 sons. It's said Jerry's mother was very upset and angry that Jerry was not born a girl. That's never a good thing.
No.
I didn't want you. I wanted a girl.
I know you're a healthy boy, but you should have been a girl. I hate you for that. She would treat him terrible and physically and emotionally abuse him for being born a boy. Throughout his younger years, Jerry and his family would often move before finally settling in Salem, Oregon. At least it wasn't Salem, Massachusetts.
True.
I was there in October of last year.
Salem, Oregon?
Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh.
For what?
I was coming back from Maine. My wife wanted to go to Salem.
Was
So
it
I
cool?
swung in there, and we went there right around Halloween.
Ooh,
So
it was packed.
packed.
Did you see some real witches?
I've seen some real weird people. Like,
Those are witches.
I ended up on the ocean eating French fries
Huh.
because I didn't feel like getting stuck in all that. Like,
He was like, I'm out of here. You left them all. You left your family in Salem. But so we're not in Salem, Massachusetts. We're in Salem, Oregon.
right.
Just to be clear,
We got that.
no witches,
Yeah, we got that.
just bitches.
Jeez.
At the age of 5, Jerry took an unusual interest in women's shoes after going to a junkyard with his father and finding a pair there.
So you take your son to a junkyard, do what boys do, and he finds high heels.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Dad's taking a carburetor off a 57 Chevy. Jerry's getting him a pair of stilettos out of the trunk. Like they go up to pay. The dad's like, yeah, I just got this carburetor here. And the boy's got a pair of Stacey Adams. That's a rough way to go. So you already know something's not right with
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Right.
While in first grade, Jerry got caught trying to steal his teacher's shoes. He has himself a shoe fetish. Dude, that's a phone call you don't want to get.
Right.
Mr. and Mrs. Brudos, we have some news for you today. Jerry tried to steal my high heels. Aside from his awkward shoe fetish, Jerry also had a thing for stealing the neighbor girl's underwear. In his teen years, he spent a lot of time in and out of psychiatric hospitals.
Didn't see that coming.
No. The panty and shoe thief in psychiatric hospitals. Jerry also began stalking women. He would chase them down, knock them out by hitting them over the head or choking them until they became unconscious, and then he would steal their shoes.
Wow.
Really loves those shoes.
Yeah, he
I
does.
feel like that's a lot of work just for some shoes.
Right.
So here you'll start to see the progression of Mr. Jerry Brudos' crimes. When he was just 17 years old, Jerry abducted and beat a woman and then told her he would stab her if she did not follow his sexual demands. Jerry was arrested shortly after the attack and was sent to another psychiatric hospital where he would remain for 9 months. I feel like that's not a good enough punishment there.
Yeah.
Going to a psychiatric ward
For 9 months. Yeah, you bashed some lady on the head and told her you was going to stab her
Right.
Right.
if she didn't please your sexual demands. I mean, we're all sure that he's got psychiatric
Oh,
problems.
for sure.
But 9 months?
Nope. Too short.
Not even 9 months in jail.
Yeah. While in the hospital, doctors would determine Jerry suffered from schizophrenia and his sexual fantasies stemmed from the hatred he had for his mother. Even though Jerry was institutionalized, he was still able to graduate in 1957. After his 9 months were over in the hospital, Jerry began working as an electronics technician. In 1961, Jerry married a 17-year-old named Darcy, and the two would go on to have 2 children together.
You know, when reading that, I had to do the math to see how old he was.
Uh-huh.
And it sounded like, because he was born in 39.
Yeah.
Then it happened in 61. I'm like, man, this dude's old as crap. But I did the math, and yeah, he wasn't that old.
Was it like, it's not even 30 yet, is he?
No, I think it's 22, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Silly.
Jeez.
I know.
I wonder if Darcy had an elaborate shoe collection that he...
Oh, that's why he got married.
Yeah. I gotta have her.
Let me see your closet, girl.
Yeah. She's like, look at these boobies. Like, I don't care about them
Man, let me
boobies.
see them shoes.
Let me see them stilettos. So life seems to be going good for Jerry, but his old fantasies were starting to creep back up on him. Jerry would make his wife clean and do laundry with nothing on but high heels while he took pictures. Doesn't everyone do that?
Yeah.
You do that, don't you?
Well, yeah, but Candace at least lets me wear a nice pair of high heels while I do it. Around this same time, Jerry would start disappearing at night. He would prowl the neighborhood and break into people's homes to steal their shoes and underwear.
Wow.
Imagine waking up and all your shoes are gone and your underwear is gone. Like, man, he might be coming to my house. Because I swear I'll wake up with no underwear. Not only was Jerry going back to his old ways, he also took on a new thing where he would dress up as a woman to escape from his life. Starting to put the shoes and the panties to good use.
I guess so.
When I want to escape from life, I think, or whenever I think about it, I think of like, I want to, go to a beach by myself and just sit there. Jerry's like, let me get them draws and them stilettos.
Yeah. I hate this life. Putting on my high heels and my pantalones. For the next few years, Jerry did his thing of wearing women's shoes and clothes and photographing his wife in the nude. But in 1968, Jerry took his obsession to another level, and Lord help any woman that came into contact with him. On January 28, 1968, 19-year-old Linda Slauson was selling encyclopedias door to door when she knocked on Jerry's door. He acted interested in buying the encyclopedias and talked her into going down to the basement to finalize a deal.
What?
That
didn't sound off at all to her?
That's not a... If there's still encyclopedia door-to-door salesmen and someone's like, hey, I would love to have those encyclopedias. Let's go into my basement to finalize this deal. Don't do it.
No, don't go into anybody's basement if you don't know them.
Nope.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's not going to go well. He acted interested in buying them, got her into the basement, and when in the basement, Jerry knocked Linda out with a board and strangled her to death. Here's where Jerry's obsession with women's clothes starts to get even weirder. He then dressed Linda's body in the undergarments and shoes that he had stolen and put her body in provocative poses.
Wow.
Next, Jerry would cut off Linda's left foot and keep it in a freezer. And he would take it out from time to time to model different shoes.
That is weird.
That's so weird.
He's like, I don't need no mannequin. I need a dismembered foot.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Jerry then dumped her body in the Willamette River. Another fact about Linda's murder is Jerry did all this while his wife and children were at home and they had no clue.
How's that even possible?
I don't know how you get somebody in your basement without people at home knowing. Because you'd be like, hey, let's finalize this deal in my basement, but you got to be quiet.
Yeah.
To go downstairs.
Be real quiet because they're sleeping. Don't make any noise while I'm strangling you and then cutting your foot off.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
He's like, don't go in the basement. Forever. For anything. There's ghosts down there. On November 26, 1968, 23-year-old Jan Whitney broke down on the side of the freeway. Jerry was traveling down that same stretch of highway because God was like, Jan, we're really going to stick it to you now. He noticed her and quickly pulled over and asked Jan if she needed any help. Jerry told her he would drive her to his house that was just up the street so she could call a tow truck. There's no cell phones during these times.
Right.
Jan agreed and jumped in the car with Jerry. That's more reasonable than
Come to my basement.
Yeah, come to my basement so I can finalize a deal. Either way, spoiler alert again, it ain't gonna go well.
Nope.
Once inside the car, Jerry attacked Jan and slipped a leather strap around her neck. He strangled her to death and then raped her. Necrophilia.
Yep.
Jerry then took Jan's body to his house and hung her from a pulley in his garage. Over the next few days, Jerry would dress up her body and take pictures with it. He would also have sex with the body.
Wow.
More necrophilia.
That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry also cut off one of her breasts and made a resin mold out of it and used it for a paperweight.
I don't even know what to say.
A titty paperweight. I mean,
That's just as bad as a nipple belt.
almost.
Yeah.
I wonder if Gin probably would have been appreciative of that.
Probably.
But a titty paperweight? I mean... Next, he would tie a railroad iron to her body and dump it in the Willamette River.
He loves that river.
Yeah, he does.
You know who doesn't love that river? These women.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
On March 27th, 1969, Jerry was dressed up as a woman when he abducted 18-year-old Karen Sprinker from a shopping center.
So he was at the mall dressed like this.
Yes. Now, if you've ever seen Jerry Brudos,
He's a big dude.
he's a big dude.
Yeah.
And probably not a good-looking woman.
No.
Now.
Those are one of those ones you look at like, Jerry? My name's
It's Geraldine.
Once back at his house, Jerry made Karen dress up in the undergarments and shoes he had and pose for pictures. Next, Jerry raped her and then strangled her to death by hanging her from the pulley in his garage. That's not a place you want to be, is Jerry's pulley.
Nope.
Not at all.
Jerry then cut off one of her breasts to make a plastic mold. Next, he tied her body to a 6-cylinder engine with nylon rope and dumped her body where?
The Willamette River.
The Willamette River.
Wow.
This dude's like crimes are like the same thing.
Yeah.
He does the same thing over and over and over.
Jerry's last and final murder came on April 23rd, 1969. While out prowling, Jerry spotted 22-year-old Linda Saley and abducted her. Once back at his garage, he raped and strangled Linda. Jerry said he did not cut off her breasts because they were too pink.
Huh.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
They're too pink.
Wow.
You never heard the expression a titty pink?
No.
Yeah, it's an old phrase. Like,
Hey, don't forget, you're in your 40s. I'm not.
I am.
I mean, I've heard of two in the pink, one in the stink.
Not the same thing.
Definitely not.
No.
I'm shocked that you would say that.
The shocker.
So her breasts are too pink, so Jerry instead applied an electrical current to her body to try and make it jump, which was a huge failure. He's like trying to play Frankenstein now.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He's like just playing games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So he tied her body to a car transmission and dumped her body in the Willamette River. the river, car parts. Maybe he did learn something at that junkyard.
I mean, do you know how deep this river is?
Deep enough to hide transmissions and
because that's
V6 engines and bodies.
I want to know how he got a engine and was able to lift it and her.
Oh, yeah.
And get it.
He's a big dude, but still,
But still, that's...
And get it in the river. Unless he's like opening the tailgate of his truck and flooring it in reverse and stopping.
That's probably it.
I don't know how you would do it.
Yeah. Like, if maybe was there a bridge maybe back up on?
Transmission's not light either.
Right.
No.
So he's either really, really, really strong or he's doing something like that. Just a month later in May, a fisherman found the body of Linda Saley in Karen Sprinker. That's one of my worst fears, fishing, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Places that I go, I think to myself, one of these days, I'm pulling in like a hand or something. Bet I get it mounted, though. It'll be on my wall. You guys come over like, what's that? I caught it fishing. The police were stumped and had no leads, so they decided to go to the local college campus and ask around. Once there, they questioned a woman who told them about a strange man that won't stop calling her about a date. She gave them Jerry Brudos' name. Next, the police went to Jerry's home to question him. Jerry did a lot of weird things when the police were at his house, which raised even more suspicion. Like, if you're going to send up red flags, don't do it when the police are questioning you.
Right. Yeah.
Finally, they got a warrant and searched his home. There wasn't a lot of evidence at the home, but what police did find was some copper wire that was cut with the same tool used to cut the nylon rope to weigh down the bodies. So that's some forensics for you.
Yeah.
Some early forensics.
Back in the 60s.
Yeah. Jerry Brudos was arrested, and while at the police station, he gave a full confession. I know a lot of you are probably wondering, how did he do all this while he had a wife and kids?
Yeah.
Well, he had an intercom system in his garage, and his wife wasn't allowed out there unless he told her she could be. Jerry ran a very strict household.
I guess so.
She'd be like, Jerry, dinner's ready.
Yeah. Jerry. He's like, don't come out here. Over.
Over.
You have to say over so they know the transmission's over. Over. On June 29th, 1969, Jerry pled guilty to the murders and was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences. While in prison, Jerry had a stack of women's shoe catalogs, and he would write the big shoe brands and see if they would send him more by telling them it was his substitute for pornography.
Wow.
I love these stilettos.
Send me more. Throughout the years, Jerry appealed his sentence and was denied time and time again, and we don't know why, but...
Oh, yeah.
In his last parole hearing, the board told Jerry that he would never be released.
That's like a big, like you got your hopes up, like, oh, this might be it. This is time number 20, and they're like, hey, you're never getting released, ever.
Well, Jerry, we come to a decision that you're wasting your time. On March 28th, 2006, Jerry Brudos died from liver cancer at the age of 67. At the time, Jerry was the longest serving inmate in the Oregon Department of Corrections. He spent 37 years there.
It's a long ass time.
Yeah.
Also, like we said, Jerry is portrayed in the show Mindhunter on Netflix if you're interested. That is season 1, episodes 7 and 8.
I don't even want to give away the part where when they brought him the shoes, what he ended up doing with them.
Yeah.
You just got to see it for yourself.
In the show, they bring him just so he'll talk to the detectives, to the FBI agents. They bring him a pair of shoes. Like he's like,
his mouth was watering.
He's like, yes. I'll talk to you now. Like, you want them shoes? You better talk. Also, Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs was loosely based off of Jerry Brudos as well. It was like Jerry Brudos / Ed Gein There was a couple.
What's funny you bring that up, because earlier I was going to ask if he tucked his junk between his thighs like Buffalo Bill.
Yes, he photographed himself. Yeah, I don't know if you remember in Mindhunters, he alludes to that.
Oh, yeah.
Photographing himself that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
You're saying you've never tried it?
You got pictures, don't you?
Yeah, I do uppercuts all the time.
And that, folks, is the story of Jerry Brudos and his weird obsession with women's undergarments and their delicious high-heeled shoes.
Crazy.
Do you have a fascination with women's shoes?
No, not at all.
Just men's shoes?
I'm fascinated that women wear some shoes. Like, it's not like I want to kill people and wear them or keep them, but sometimes, have you ever seen like a woman wear like real high-heeled shoes?
Yeah, I don't know how they walk, man.
I'm like,
that'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah, my ankles hurt thinking about it.
I'm like too fat to wear those. Like I feel like if I stood in a pair of high heels, they'd just snap.
You gotta get them steel reinforced ones.
They got weight limits on high heels.
Man, ask Al Bundy. He'll tell you.
I don't want to say the person's name. We went to school with her, but
this is gonna be a good one.
She worked at Toyota West, and you know how there was the grates in the middle of the shop? If I remember correctly, she was wearing high heels, got stuck, and then went face down and broke her nose. Yeah.
High heels are dangerous.
They are.
They are. It's a good weapon, though, if you're a woman and you're out late. Flip that stiletto off and hit somebody with it.
Right in the eye.
I seen the movie.
There's not much weight behind a high-heeled shoe.
Weight behind a fist.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a lot of...
I'm going to go home and get a stiletto and I'm going to hit you with it and tell me if it hurts.
Well, as you're trying to get your shoe off, and if I'm a mugger, I'm going to have the overhand on you. I don't know. We'll try it, though.
We'll try it.
Video it.
Yeah, let me
I'm going to put them on and you're going to try to mug me. I'm going to get the shoe off and hit you with it.
So if I can take you down before that, do I get to rape you? That's weird.
Oh, God.
Have your way with me.
Oh, God.
So before this takes any worse of a turn, Rex, what you got for me?
All right, go to our Facebook page, give us a like. Any comments, questions, ideas, you can email us at eviltransgression@gmail.com, which you can also find that link where, Dustin?
At eviltransgression.com. Go check it out. Check out our links. Leave more reviews on Apple if you can.
We did get a few recently.
We did. So
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
Yeah.
Also, start leaving them on Spotify if you can. So,
You can leave ratings, I think, on Spotify.
yes.
No comments, though.
And Amazon. You can do that also.
Yeah.
So, go check it all out. If you listen to this and you haven't left a comment anywhere, you should do it. Right meow.
Do it now.
Meow?
Right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow.
You should do it right now. It'll take 2 seconds and it'll help us explode. And then
it will help us explode.
And then we can bring you more content.
Yeah. Because if we don't have real jobs, can we just do this? We can just do this all day.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go to work. I'm going out to Rex's house in the studio.
So yeah, if you can, also donate to our Patreon. It helps keep the show going.
It does.
It does cost some money.
It does, because every time I'm like, I quit. Dustin's like, we have Patreons. We have to, please. And I'm like, I do love those people.
True.
So, yeah, if you got any suggestions, let us know.
So if we do eventually one day get the miraculous deal of a lifetime and make this our actual way of living,
Right.
can we do cool stuff like donut mornings? Like, oh, hey, Dustin, did you bring the donuts? Today's Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
We can have bagels and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Like casual Fridays, but every day's casual Friday. But if this becomes our full-time job, I want us to have to wear suits at least once or twice a week.
I'm guessing Dustin's going to want like stiletto Fridays or something.
Yeah. I'd be down.
Them steel reinforced heels.
I want to get to the point where I don't have to write stories anymore.
So then...
Because then I can just have somebody else write them.
Oh, a
What's the fun
ghostwriter.
of that?
I say, hey, have
then
that
we
done.
sound like those people, not like us.
No,
That's true.
It's not true.
Like, we just did a pretty famous guy, and nobody's probably covered him the way we have.
No,
With the sick
Because
humor.
it's us.
Yeah.
it's true. You have a point.
And you probably wrote this while you were sitting on the toilet. So,
Oh,
beat that.
I can see that.
Actually,
So go to eviltransgression.com, buy your evil what are we called again? Evil transgression gear.
Yes,
Some shirts, sweatshirts. It's pretty chilly out.
it is.
Some of those sweatshirts are fire. And they're comfy.
They will keep you warm.
Yeah. Snatch up some good stuff. And we'll see you guys next week. So until then, Evil Mob,
See ya.
see ya.
peace.